Hey family, Eve here. So family, this video that I'm about to create today is the video. It's an extension to the last video I did where I showed you guys that I was gonna show you guys where Judah was, and I was gonna use the movie The Wizard of Oz to do that, to show you where Judah been, the tribe of Judah, where he'd been all this time, all these years, through the 400 years of our captivity. But before I get started, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. So family, again, remember the last video I did, I said I was that God was back in the earth, operating and dwelling in the earth, and he was gathering us back from our captivity, back restoring us back to him. And and because of that, we all need to know where our people are, the 12 tribes, where they were scattered to, and see which direction they all came. Because remember, he said he was going to scatter us to the four corners during our slavery or our captivity. So what I want to do today is I want to show you where Judah was all this time. And I'm going to use the movie The Wizard of Oz to show you. I'm going to basically show you Judah was in Americas all this time. The descendants of Judah. So let's get started. So, when the movie comes on, when the movie first comes on, Dorothy is frantic, and she's telling her aunt and her uncle that the old mean lady next door to their farm, her name was Miss Gulch, that she was getting ready she wanted to bring harm to Dorothy's dog Toto, because she said he was always chasing her cats and her chickens and stuff and scaring them. So Dorothy runs to her aunt and uncle, and she starts complaining to them about this lady. And when she goes to them, she also talks to, because her aunt and uncle got these 3 farm hands who help them with things around the farm, and they're counting their chickens and carrying on, and Dorothy is just complaining about this woman. So let me tell you, so the aunt and the uncle and the 3 farm hands, let me give you a description of them. So her uncle Henry, his name means ruler of the home or king of the house. Now, as that pertains to Judah, you remember Judah is the king. All the kings from the children of Israel mostly descended from the tribe of Judah. Her Aunt M, she called her Aunt M, Auntie M, which really is Emily. Emily means rival or striving, eager, laborious, or industrious. Now her Aunt Emily, she's symbolic for the industrial revolution here in America, like industry, all the things that was getting ready to take place during that time, like factories and things like that, because they were farmers, but they was getting ready to start doing all this industrial stuff. So that's what her name means. Zeke, who was he helped with the pigs and the cows and things like that. He later became the lion. And one of the other farm hands, his name was Hawk, who later became the scarecrow. But Zeke, his name means God's strength, pure king, and because he was the lion, he would be considered the king of the jungle. And Hawk, like I said, he's the bird of prey. His name means bird of prey, strength, grace, and wisdom. And the last farmhand, his name was Hickory, who later became the Tin Woodman. And hickory means a tree that bears nuts. And in the movie, like I said, he becomes the Tin Woodman. Miss Gulch, the lady who Dorothy was complaining about, Gulch means natural depression, and her names mean to run with full strength, to spew forth, to gush from. Now I'm gonna give you her, when I get ready to elaborate on her, I'm gonna show you how she pertains to Judah. And Captain Marvel is the man who, when Dorothy get ready to run away, she runs to him. So let's continue. So in the movie, when Dorothy as she complains to her aunt, all of a sudden they go into the house, and then the neighbor, Miss Goat, she comes into the house, and she knocks on the door, and she tells them that she's there to take away Toto because she had permission from the law to be able to take him out of the house because he's a danger to the things that are going on in the neighborhood or in the community, because he threatens the other animals like the chickens and the cats and stuff. So when she get ready to take the dog, she says she has a citation, and when Dorothy get ready to present the dog to her or give the dog to her, Dorothy calls her a mean old wicked witch. She tells Dorothy, she said, I can have this done to you as well as what I did to the dog. So Dorothy gives her the dog, and symbolically, Miss Goat, she's the mean old neighbor. She comes in to take the dog out of the house, and she's also threatening to take Dorothy out of the house. And later on, Miss Gulch becomes the Wicked Witch of the West. So symbolically in the movie, as it pertains to Judah and as it pertains to the Americas, she in the movie, she's considered the social worker, as the social worker, as the mean old wicked witch. She's a part of the government system that devises to bring down the children of Israel through this government system, like taking the children out of the house, disrupting family, and the government system became a thorn in our sides. Like they became the ones to bring us down and to destroy our homes and to take our children away and to cause all type of things to happen with our children. And I know in the book of Deuteronomy, it talks about how our children will be taken out of the home, and there's nothing we can do about it. Let me show you as it pertains to Miss Gulch. Deuteronomy 28 and 30 says, what it says, 28 through 30 says, 28 says, I know what's the scripture that it talks about how our children will be taken away, and we'll watch them being taken away, and it ain't nothing we can do about it. Oh, it's Genesis 28 and 32. It says, thy sons and thy daughters shall be given to another people, and thine eyes shall look and long and fail with longing for them all the day long, and there shall be no might in our hands. So that's what that's one thing. That's one way Miss Gulch represents the system. They're gonna take our children from us, and it ain't nothing we can do because we're gonna be under their laws. They're in their system, their governmental system, where they can do that, and it ain't nothing we can do about it. So I'm gonna show you another way that she pertains to Judah as well. So let's keep going. So like I said, as Dorothy, as she takes the dog, she puts him in her basket, and she begins to drive away from the city. And as she drives away, Toto jumps out of the back of her basket, and he runs back to Dorothy. But Dorothy knows that she can't keep Toto, because if she try to keep him, that this woman gonna come back and she's gonna do the same thing again. So Dorothy figures she gotta run away. So as Dorothy get ready to run away, she runs to she runs and she takes Toto, and she goes towards the end of the city. And when she goes towards the end of the city, she runs into this man, and this man has this wagon or this cart that says Professor Marvel. And what it says about him is it says Professor Marvel. On his buggy, on his cart or his wagon, it says Professor Marvel, crowned heads of Europe. It says, let him read your past, your present, and your future. So the name Marvel, the word Marvel, means to be filled with astonishment. And we know in the book of Deuteronomy 28 and 37, God said, and thou shalt become, speaking of us, as it pertains to Judah, Marvel, it says, Deuteronomy 28:37 says, and thou shalt become an astonishment and a byword among all nations, whither the Lord shall lead thee. So marvel and astonishment, that means that the other nations are going to be astonished and marvel at the fact that we were God's chosen children, and we were led, and he led us into captivity, because we knew we were his chosen. So they're going to be amazed or astonished at the fact that, oh God, they are his chosen children. And if he did that to them, it's like they're gonna marvel at that because they're gonna be in disbelief. And he said that we would become a byword among all these nations, meaning byword is just names that will be called, not even knowing who these names are, or not names we're not familiar with, or names that are not true. That given names that are not our actual name. Like we're the children of Israel, but we'll be called Negro, African American. We're gonna be called all them different names that does not have anything to do with us. So and also, Professor marveled on his wagon when I said it said crown heads of Europe. Now, the book of Revelations 13:1 speaks of crowns and heads, and it says, and I stood upon the sand of the sea and saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his head the name of blasphemy. Well, we know blasphemy means the act of offense of speaking sacrilegiously against God or sacred things, profound talk against God. So these people are going to blaspheme God. And the when it talks about the 7 heads and the 10 horns, that means the nations, these nations going to come together and they're going to make themselves kings and queens, and the crowns, they're going to place crowns on their head as far as power. They're going to give themselves power to rule over us. And that's how they're going to put us in captivity. They're going to, with their power together, they're going to put us in captivity. So that's where Captain Marvel. Now, as Dorothy is, as he, he deceived her. He deceived her because he told her to close her eyes. And he told her to close her eyes to be tuned with the infinite. Means he telling her to close her eyes so that she can be in the spiritual. But when he did that, he deceived her because he looked in her basket and he saw the picture of her aunt and her uncle, and so he deceived her in telling her that her aunt was sick, and telling her these things. So she jumped up and she was excited and scared. So she was trying to get back home to her aunt, and all of a sudden this storm started coming. It was a cyclone, like a tornado. That tornado represents the storm that the children, as it pertains to Judah, the storm represents the destruction, or the things that the children of Israel was getting ready to go through in this country, or amongst these nations. And it says the storm is an act or a force, an act of God, a force majeure. It comes suddenly and without warning, which can be pretty scary, but also leads the way for new things. As it pertains to Judah, it's the fall of the children of Israel, or the fall of the descendants of Judah when they go into slavery. And we know that they were going to be cast down or torn down by all these other nations. Destruction gonna come to them, but prosperity to these other nations. That's why I said it says it comes suddenly without warning, which can be scary, but also leads the way for new things. It's gonna be new things for them, but it's gonna be ugly for us because of our destruction. It's gonna take us down. They're gonna take us down into captivity. God said He was gonna send us amongst nations, and we was going to dwell amongst people who our fathers knew not, who we didn't know, and their language we didn't know. It was a strange land. And God told us that in the book of Genesis 15:13. He told our father Abraham, He said we was going to go into a strange land, and there we will be afflicted for 400 years. And the nation which afflict us will He judge after that 400 years, and we were going to come out with great substance. That's what I'm saying. That's why He's gathering us now, and I'm telling you where all our people were, because now they're being gathered back here. And we got to know these people and where they're coming from and who they are, like which tribes they are. So the cyclone, that makes the cyclone a catalyst for change, both in terms of landscape. Aunt Em and Uncle Henry are going to need a new house, and in terms of the character, it's no coincidence that Miss Gulch morphs into the Wicked Witch of the West in the middle of the storm. See, so Miss Gulch becomes the witch. Dorothy is, as the house go around in circle during the cyclone, Dorothy see her riding her, Miss Gulch riding her bike. At first, she was the mean old neighbor. And then all of a sudden, she becomes the wicked witch of the West. She see her becomes the wicked witch of the West. Now, after the storm settles and the house lands, it falls on the wicked witch of the West. It falls on her sister, and it kills her sister, the wicked witch of the East. The wicked witch of the East is the people over in the East who also came together with the people of the West to bring down the children of Israel. But see, they had no power, so that's the East had no power in the East as what they could do to the children of Israel over here in the West, because we were going to be scattered here in the West. So their power, so that's why she was killed with the house, because they had no power to do anything in the East. So they were, it's like basically they were combined, and the wicked witch of the West took over from where the wicked witch of the East left off, as far as doing the things to the children of Israel, like bringing us down. Because when you remember, we was in bondage in Egypt over there first, and now God said we was going to come this time, we was going to go in bondage again. In Deuteronomy 28 and 68, he said we was going to go into bondage again in Egypt, but this time by ships, meaning trade, and we was going to become bondmen and bondwomen. We were going to be sold as bondmen and bondwomen, and no one will buy us, meaning that we was going to go in slavery again, but this time through trade. And trade was here to the Americas. So that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to show you how Judah his descendants have been here in the Americas all this time. So let's look at Dorothy and what Dorothy is symbolic for. So, okay, so Dorothy is a representation of innocence, of the children of righteousness. She's symbolic for kindness, her goodness, and righteousness, which that's what God is. We were once a righteous people. We were chosen as his right to be his righteous people through our father Abraham, because you know the scripture says Abraham believed on God, and it was counted to him as righteousness, and he became a friend of, it was imputed to him as righteousness, and he became a friend of God. So that's showing you right there. Dorothy is a representation of that, and her name means a gift of God. The name Dorothy means a gift of God. It comes from the Greek words doron, means gift, and theos, meaning God. So a gift of God. So basically, Dorothy is a representation of the pure or the innocent. She's brave, kind, and determined to return home after she was uprooted from her home. Her home, you saw her house being uprooted. That's as far as that pertains to Judah. Our house was uprooted. Our people were uprooted from what we knew to be the children of God, and we were sent here to this place amongst these strangers, uprooted. We have no place here, and just like Dorothy, she's trying to get back home. We're trying to get back home, and our home is our place with the Most High, with God. And he's going to use Christ to do that. And Dorothy, innocent, goodness, righteousness is also symbolic for Christ. And you know, Christ is one of the he was born as one of the children or the seed of Israel. So Dorothy can kind of be like symbolic for Christ. Judah, Christ came from the lineage of Judah. He was born under the tribe of Judah. See, so all of that right there. Yeah, showing you. So family, I'm going to have to end this video because I don't want to be too long. So I'm going to do an extension of this video in my next video. So I'm going to stop with Dorothy, and then I'm going to continue in my next video with the rest of the characters and finish my interpretations of what everything else and how Judah's in Americas, from just continuing in my next video. So family, with that being said, I thank you guys for watching my video, and I'll see you on the next one.